What it do, my people? This is your boy FJ3000, man. I want to welcome you back to a brand new episode of Hot Off the Press. I have a big time question. We know we got the NFL draft around the corner. I think it's going to be at the end of April. I think the burning question is, which quarterback would you draft number one overall? We know it's going to either be between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I think those are the two top QBs in the draft. There's some other good guys that's in there. I think Will Levis and the kid from Florida. But we know Bryce Young and CJ Stroud is the top two guys. And when you look at it and you look at the numbers and you break it down, they really neck and neck. CJ Stroud had a really dope pro day. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bryce Young just had his. What really set it off for me for CJ Stroud was the game against Georgia back in the playoffs. I mean, I didn't expect Ohio State to put on that type of show. And I think if they had one more play, I think they come out on top against Georgia. But if you look at it, man, look at CJ Stroud numbers just over the last two years. The season prior to this one, he had over 4,400 passing yards with 44 TDs and 6 interceptions. This past season, he had 3,600 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 6 INTs. I mean, we talking about laying it out there. I'm talking about getting the receivers in between the numbers, deep pass. He got it all. And then when you look at Bryce Young numbers, this past season he had 3,300 passing yards with 32 TDs and 5 interceptions. Then the season before, 4,800 yards with 47 TDs and 7 interceptions. Stroud and Young are neck and neck. They can all make the big play. They can all make the deep pass. They can all hit you in between the numbers. They can use their feet as well. But what really turns me away from Bryce Young, I mean, the dude is 5'9", barely 190 pounds. Like, I don't want my QB. We know the QBs are going to get hit. We know, especially with them going 1 or 2, the lines ain't going to be that good. So that right there is a red flag for me. And I'm not saying he can't get out of the pocket. I'm not saying he won't be able to do those things. But to me, even with his height, I need you to be able to see over the line. We know Drew Brees did really good with his height. He's not really tall, but he had an awesome career with his height. But you got linemen now that's 6'3", 6'4". I need my QB to be able to see over that line, be able to see his receivers and hit that target. I'm not saying he can't do it, because we all know at the end of the day, it comes down to what's in your heart. How much effort, how much work you put in to be that top guy. We know the Panthers got the number 1 pick. You really can go either way. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. They both had dope pro days. They both had great numbers in the 2 seasons that they played at Ohio State and Alabama. But that's what sets me apart with CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. I mean, CJ Stroud is 6'3", 218 pounds. And he clearly said that he want to use his feet more. He didn't get to use his feet like he wanted to at Ohio State. So, if it's me, I think I'm going to go Stroud. But the thing about Stroud is he comes from Ohio State. And we all know Ohio State, they don't produce. They don't put the work in to get their quarterbacks ready for that next level. I mean, if you look at Terrell Pryor, you look at J.T. Barrett, you look at Troy Smith, you look at Dwayne Haskins, R.I.P. Haskins, you look at Braxton Miller, you look at those players now, they don't produce them for the NFL. Now, Justin Fields, he looked really good last year. He looked really good. But that would be the only thing that would kind of knock me off from CJ Stroud is that transition from Ohio State to the NFL. Are the coaches getting him prepared? Do he got the right QB coach that's going to help him be top tier in the league once he get there? I think I would take Stroud, but I think with Bryce Young having Nick Saban in his back pocket, Nick Saban putting in really, really good words for Bryce Young, I think that will propel Bryce Young to be the number one pick. Because we all know how it go. When you got somebody that put in a really good word for you, it's just like on your job and you fill out an application and you got somebody putting in a really good word for you that has a really good background, you're probably going to get that job over the next person. So why not Nick Saban putting in a good word for Bryce Young for him to be the number one pick? I think that's the only thing that separates CJ Stroud and Bryce Young from each other is Nick Saban. These guys got off the chart numbers. Like, if you look at Bryce Young, he's 10th in touchdowns last year. If you look at CJ Stroud, 2nd in TDs last season. Their QBRs are both right there, 88%. So I would go Stroud. That's just me. For the simple fact, the show that he put on against Georgia, his pro day, which they both had dope pro days. I would lean a little bit more towards Stroud because of his height. And a lot of people saying they're not worried about Bryce Young weight. So, that's what I got, man. Who would you take if you was the GM of the Panthers? Are you going CJ Stroud or are you going Bryce Young? Let your boy know. This is your boy FJ3000, man. And it's a dope day, man. NFL draft is around the corner and it's gonna be some nice picks going. Who you got, Stroud or Young? It's your boy 3000 and I'm out. Peace.